Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone is doing well. I want to welcome everyone to this FaceTime, Facebook Live, whatever you call these things. I think we hopefully last few times we were doing this, we were having some technical difficulties. So let me know if you're where you're from. I'll give it a minute for everyone to kind of jump on board here, and we'll get started here. I got a lot to cover, so I hope you guys get your pens and papers ready because it's gonna get fun. Let me know where you're from, where you're on board from, who's watching. Please check in. Let me know that you're here, and we'll get into this whole subject of do what you love and that. And it's an interesting concept. It's an interesting concept that so many people that we talk about this, right? We were talking about this in our group, in the Aligned Mastery group today, and people were talking about, how many people, like if you really stop and think about it, have struggled with the idea of knowing what it is that they wanted to do or what they wanted to actually achieve out of their life and become. It's a struggle for many people. And let me know if you are there and that makes sense to you. Warren Edwards from Chicago, a Chi-Town baby, go Cubs, it's game time. Jolene, good to see you on here. This concept and idea of do what you love and the money will follow, right? I mean, how many people have heard that before, and what does it mean? How does the construct come into play? And you've heard it for years. And if you've watched any of my stuff, or a student of mine or a client of mine in any capacity, you know that I cut through all the bullshit. I'm not interested in the bullshit because I'm not a coach. I'm not a consultant. I'm a doctor. I'm a doctor who understands that certain things are in objective reality, certain things are in delusions, and I'm not interested in the delusions because delusions stop us from growing. So, Mike, good to have you on here, buddy. If you're just joining the group here, let me know that you're here. Teresa, hey, how are you? Good to have you on here. And I'm going to get into this concept. Kevin, good to have you on here as well. And I'm going to get into this concept and this idea of doing what you love and money will follow. Because let's be real. I mean, if we stop and think about it, money is something that I get on calls, and I do calls every single day, and people get worried about money, and they talk to me about money and the stresses about money and how money is such a major part of their life. And let me know if that makes sense to you. Hey, what's happening, Chris? Good to have you, buddy. But this whole concept and this personal development movement has taught us this idea that you do what you love and the money will follow. And the truth is that that's just not true. That's just not true in our definition of the term love. Maria, good to have you on here as well. Because most people don't understand this. And so let me explain the concept of love. Let me explain the concept of what it is that we're having. Because so many people in today's world, and Tennille, good to have you on here as well. So many people in today's world are struggling in their lives, looking for a mission, a purpose, a life. I just got off a phone call with a gentleman about 45 minutes ago. He's almost 60 years old. Doesn't know what to do with his life and is in a miserable marriage and challenged and wants to try and figure out his game in his life and says to himself, this is not where I expected myself to be. And I want you to ask yourself that question. Where you are today, is that where you expected yourself to be 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago? Hey, Terrence, good to have you on here, buddy. And if the question is no, the question is, why are you here? The question is, why are you exactly where you are? And it's probably there because it's there to try and serve you in some capacity. But I want you to realize this, is that if you're thinking to yourself that you're not where you want to be, there's probably a reason behind it. And realize is that who you are today is a culmination of the journey you've gone through. So the world says to you this freaking nonsense out there that you do what you love and the money, it just follows. You got to be careful of this new age movement and personal development. It's kind of this nonsense thing. And, I just sit on a tree and it just manifests and shows up. No, it doesn't. That's not how it works. That's not how it works at any capacity. So people will say, well, do what you love and love what you follow, and the money will show up, because so many people are fighting for money. You realize this. Our world outside there is fighting for money. Every single day, they are fighting for dollars and cents to try and make things meet. And, I was talking to a buddy of mine just the other day. The average American, and I don't know how this is possible, but this is reality for a lot of people, and it just is. The average American household makes $46,000 a year between their home to support their family. how do you do that in 46? How do you feed kids? How do you have a rent? Explains why there's such a debt crisis in our country. And you guys are a great part of that solution for many of you in the work that you guys do. But how do you get more successful? Because how you get more successful in doing what it is you want to do and achieve more and be more, it allows other people to be influenced and serve more people. So please understand this. This idea and this concept, do what you love and the money will follow, is partly false. Because the idea of doing what you love only subjects yourself to the idea that things are going to be happy. You only do the things that make you happy. And that's all you do. But every one of us has an inspiration and a voice on the inside that says, this is what I would love to do. And you all know it. You can admit to it or not. It's there. It's calling you. It's your intuition sitting on the inside of your brain that's calling you, saying, do this, do this. And this is what you're just destined and designed to do. And every one of you has it. There's not a single person on the planet that doesn't have this. This is the existence of your inner soul and your inner being. But many people will cloud that. They'll cloud that voice and that vision on the inside. They'll cloud the noise. They'll cloud the voice on the inside with all the noise on the outside. And they'll say to themselves, well, I'm not good enough. And it's just not, it's too hard. If it's too hard, it's not your purpose. If it's too difficult for you to achieve, then it's too hard for you to do, then it's not really what you want to do. Because what it is you love to do, you don't have a journey, you don't have a challenge. We would all get paid for love making. Then, yeah, well, great. Chris, if you want to turn into a porn star, hey, there's nothing wrong with it. Canadians need porn stars. That's how it is. But if you love to do what it is you love to do and feel called from within to do it, that's the answer. So many people will run from it. And they'll say, okay, well, I want to do this, but I'm afraid if I jump away from what I'm doing, how do I make money doing what I'm doing now? How will I survive? And the 7 primary fears show up. The fear of not being smart enough, the fear of not making enough money, the fear of friends and family, the fear of you're physically not being good enough, fear of all the people around you and what they're going to say and judge you with. What if you do succeed? What if you do make lots of money? Then what are people going to say? You have all these fears that come up, and those cloud you from actually becoming who it is you really are, you want to become. And everything you're actually going through, what you'll realize is that every single thing you're going through in your day-to-day journey through your life, the biggest challenges you've had have led you to the place that you wanted to be probably when you were a young child. You just don't see it or realize it or recognize it. And the idea of doing what you love is not the things that make you happy. It's the things that you want to do, love to do, because you want to do it from the inside, and you're willing to go through the pursuit of pleasure and pain to pursue it. You're willing to take on challenges at higher degrees because that's what excites you, right? You give a young boy video games, he finishes a video game, my son, all day long. Give him a video game, he finishes it, Dad, let's go up and spend another $50 and get another video game. What do you mean, son? What are you doing to earn $50 so we can play games? But no, he wants the next challenge. Whatever you're searching for in the next challenge is probably something that inspires you. But you haven't asked yourself the question, what is that? What is it that I would look for in my next challenge? Because if you're going to work out at the gym and you don't set goals around it, chances are it's not high value. You're doing it, but it's not high value. Is it inspirational? No, it's something that you do to actually tie in with your health, to what you want to do. It's not really truly a loving mission. The research is showing, there's articles and articles and articles that are showing this. The more you actually absorb or tie your life to your mission and the primary purpose and cause of your life, which is why I'm asking you guys to wake up to this, it is showing neurologic, physiologic changes. It is creating health and wellness inside your body. It is the secret to neurophysiologically be changing everything inside of your body. It's pretty amazing. Kevin, then be a video game creator. It's an option. If my son wants to do that, hey, great. It's lots of money working for that. I'm game for that. If he wants to create his own, whatever he wants. But realize is that the more you attach to your mission, Viktor Frankl talked about this in Man's Search for Meaning, is he said that the people that survived had a mission and a reason to survive. if you don't have one that inspires you from within and aren't doing what it is you love to do, you'll start to resent yourself and start to limp your life. You'll start to look at your life and say, this is not really what I wanted to do, and kind of get frustrated by it. But the question you have to ask yourself, are you willing to go through the challenges that are in front of you, that inspire you to grow and to build and to become more than what you are today and to produce something more for the world? That's what you love to do. The question is, who do you have to be in order to love doing that? That's the ultimate question to ask yourself. Because if you can become that person, then you can do what it is you love to do. Even if it's, Chris was making a joke, love making. Look, there are a lot of people. I've met women, not even exaggerating, who say, I love to have sex and I like to make money. Those are the two things they do. And I've had interesting conversations with some of these people. And it's the wildest thing. But whatever it is you love to do, please understand that there's a way to make money doing it. In today's world, with the advent of the internet, there's no way you can't create a following, a pool of people that want to learn and see more about this and get more information. I was working with one of my clients this morning, and she says, I love to travel the world. That's what I love to do. And I said, great. What do you want to do? How do you want to travel the world? She's like, I don't really know. And we created a whole business plan around her in traveling the world and making money doing it and being enough value to other people and helping other people grow. Because if that is the ultimate secret for people to grow, is producing more value for them. And are you producing value? Because if you're not, then chances are you're not doing what it is that other people want. They're not producing what other people want. And there's a lot of people out there that, I'm just going to say this, are questioning what they love to do. Or they're being told what they love to do. This is what you have to do. If you're using the language of what you have to do and this is what you think you love to do, then you're really not loving doing it. And you'll end up stop doing it and you'll end up resenting it. What you love to do, you'll get up in the morning, you'll want to do it, and you won't stop doing it. And you'll never need you won't need a vacation or a break or anything to tire from it, because it is your ultimate thing that you want to do for people. And please realize is that your work in the world is needed because of the fact that you will love it. When you love it, your energy changes. Rather than having to, you guys know this, you go to the grocery store, you see these people checking out the lines, they're like, looking like this. Oh my God, can't believe I have to be here. Well, you don't have to be here, right? You don't have to be here. The question is that why are you here? If you're there for money, it ain't going to work. And a lot of these people out there, a lot of the personal development gurus are really teaching this idea that you got to grind it out and work your tail off and work hard. And in all honesty, that's not the solution, because you can work your ass off and not do what it is that you want to do. You can work your ass off and not gain the success that you want out of this. There are so many different people that, please understand, how many people would say that they work hard? Please put some likes, give me some likes and hearts or whatever, if that makes sense to you. Because there are a lot of people in the world that work hard. That doesn't mean that they've become successful or love what they do. That's not the answer. There's a lot of gurus out there giving this grindology crap out there that it's worth working hard for. It's working. If you have to work hard, then you're not going to do it. Please understand that. Why would somebody want to work hard when they can work doing what it is that they love to do? But our society and some of these gurus out there say, you just got to work hard, got to work hard. And when things aren't going your way, you've got to work harder. And the harder you work, the more success you're going to get. That's just not true. Not a fact at all. Because you can work your ass off your entire life and not have anything to show for it. You can work your ass off following a dream and get nothing for it. Look in Hollywood. 500,000 people go into Hollywood every single year. 500,000 people leave Hollywood every single year. So what happened to all these people who love what they did and are chasing this fantasy? Not everyone's going to turn into George Clooney or Brad Pitt or Angelina Jolie. Just not going to be. So what happens to these people? Did they work hard to become an actor? Yeah. Were they talented? Probably. Did they do what it is that they said that they love to do? Yeah. They didn't still make it. So what happened? Why don't they? And the reason is this, is because working hard isn't the answer. And if you have to question it and you're ready to leave it, chances are it's not really what you really love to do. Because what you love to do is on the inside. It's fighting you. It's calling you. Let me know if that makes sense, because you all have it inside. It's calling you to say, do this, do this. You know in your heart, you stay up thinking about this, dreaming about this. I wish I could just do this. And you tell your friends and your family, and you say to them, man, if I could just do this, I'd be so happy. And the truth is that that's not what's going to bring you happiness, but it is going to allow you to be free of your own judgment. It is going to allow you to be free of your own anger and resentment and guilt and shame that follows that. Because when you subordinate your life and stop yourself from being who it is that you want to be, not even design, let's not make it theological, who you are, you start chasing this idea of success. Which is why I wrote the book called Chasing Success. I'm not trying to plug it. I'm just saying, when you become something you're not is when you feel like you're chasing success. When you're doing what it is you love to do, success chases you. It really does. It comes after you because you can't help yourself but feel successful. But so many people let fear, subordination, and myths and fantasies stop them from becoming who it is that they want to be on the inside. Because they're afraid of what people are going to say. You know, people are going to judge me. They're going to think that who am I to judge what I want to do? Who am I to actually be a dancer or a teacher or whatever, or an event planner? I'm just, whoever that is, who am I to do that? You know who you are to do that? You are you to do that. Period. This is not a motivational thing, but if the opinions from the other people are stopping you from becoming who it is you want to be, you got to question why you value their opinion. Because their opinion of you subordinating to them may not be in the wisest interest of you, because they may not know what it is you're possible. They may not know what it is that you're about. They may not know what it is that inspires you to do it. And the thing is, when you start doing it, you show the people that can't, that said no, how you did do it. And then they'll start asking, how do you do this? And I don't mean that motivationally, but I want you to realize is that doing what you love incurs pain and pleasure in the pursuit of doing it. Because if your idea, I'll give you a perfect example of this. I had the opportunity one time to meet some pretty successful people. They're a little bit older in their 60s, 70s, and 80s, and I'd ask them about business, and I'd talk to them about business. And the one common answer that they all told me about their business is that they went back to the things themselves that they were struggling with as a child, and they didn't want to see other people in the future struggle with that. So they wanted to create a solution, which a business is. It's a solution for them to solve the problems that they had as a child in order to give that back to people. They loved doing it because they were, in essence, helping themselves. Are you helping yourself with your work? Are you helping yourself as a child? In the Align Mastery program, which is a program that I do and a lot of you are a part of in my consulting program, we get a very in-depth process on how to actually create your own mission statement where you decipher what it is for you. And if you're interested, you can set up a call, do all that stuff, and be happy to sit down with you and see if you're a good candidate. But more than that, it's about realizing who you are on the inside so that you can do what it is you love to do. Because look, at the end of the day, there was a question I asked myself when I was 30 years old, and I asked my best friend when I was a chiropractor. And I asked him, and I said, you're 3 days away from your death. And you know you're about to die. That's it. You're going. Did you do what you wanted to do with your life? And if the answer is anything but absolutely, you've lived in fear. And he said, that makes a ton of sense. And from that day forward, I pushed forward to doing what it is that I've wanted to do. And I do it today. I spend my days from 6 a.m., 5:30 a.m. in the morning to about 10 o'clock at night every day doing what it is I love to do. I'm doing videos right now. I don't even eat. I barely eat. I eat like a 20-minute window. And I just go. And because I love to do what it is I love to do. And that's a question for you guys, is that what is it that you love to do? Are you willing to go through pain and pleasure to pursue it? Are you willing to get there with that? And if you're not there yet, can you take what you currently have and link it and bring it to the point where you can do what it is you want to do, leveraging what you have today? Because that's important. So for those of you who decide to stay towards the end here, I'm going to give you some ideas, some strategies that you can take. And I didn't show this at the beginning. I probably should have. So questions to ask yourself to be more clear is, number one, if you had all the money in the world and you never had to work another day in your life for money, never had to make another sale, never had to sell anything, never had to close anything, never had to go to collect a dollar anywhere ever again, what would you do with your time that you have on the planet? Really, what would you do with your time? I could sit here and tell you that I would build baskets and make baskets and go basket weaving, and I wouldn't. That'd be an absolute lie. I'd do exactly what I'm doing now. I'd be speaking, teaching, writing books, consulting. I love doing this. I don't plan on doing anything else. This is it. This is my game. Maybe in different formats, different forms, but that's what I would do. What is it for you? What would you do regardless of the amount of money that you had? Almost another way of saying it, what would you do and give away for free if you could? Not that I recommend doing that, but what would you give away for free? And some of you will say, I would do charity work. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you're putting charity work down as one of your responses, chances are you have a lot of guilt and shame built up inside of you. That's why you want to do things for free. Because wisdom is doing things in fair exchange and charging an equal service for what you do so that you can, in essence, create value for other people so they actually do the work. Please understand that. If you give things away for free, it's not valued and nobody actually does the things that you want them to do. They don't grow. So please give me make sense of that. If that makes sense, give me some of the likes and thumbs or whatever. So number one, what would you do if money wasn't an issue in your life? Number two, what would you do and give away for free? Number three, if you had to live your life over again, what would you want to do with it? And whatever that is your calling, is what you would love to do. Now the challenge is where you get over the three major fears that we talked about: subordination, the fear of rejection, and the fear of other people's opinions, so to speak. And success stop you from doing it. I don't know. That's for you to decide. So I'll stay on here for a couple more minutes if you guys got questions. But I want you to realize that the myth is love is only with happiness. It's only with good. That it should only be good. That's not true. I have challenges every single day. Every great leader, not that I'm a great leader, that's not what I'm trying to say, but every great business person, every great person that's pursuing a mission, doing what it is they love to do, have challenges. It's part of the game of life. I love that, Warren. So you want to travel the world, stay in the best lodging spots, and spend time with your kids. Great. Create that. How can you create that doing what it is you're doing? How can you leverage where you're at today to be able to do that? But here's the interesting thing. People will say this to me all the time. I just want to travel. I just want to travel. I just want to travel. Great. What are you going to do with that travel? Because what are you going to do to serve the world with it? What are you going to do with the world? How are you going to serve the world rather than just being on vacation? Because the more you want vacation, the more you actually want vacation, the more it is you're trying to escape your current reality. And you'll never be able to escape your current reality. It'll chase you. It's going to chase you down. So please realize is that as you're building your following or building your life that you want, it's got to be of service. Because if you don't serve, why would you exist? If it doesn't provide value to other people, why would it exist? Consider that. Consider that. So with that being said, if there are questions, I will answer some. If not, I will jump off here. But I wanted to make sure that I connected with you guys and giving your children experiences. That's great. But what are you going to, how do you, and culture, great. What are you going to do? You can do that. There's no reason you can't do that. You can go give them experiences. Why not go give them experiences, take that, and then turn around, create a blog, and teach children how to do that and charge people for it. There's no reason you can't. The thing is, guys, is that the question is not why can't I do it? The question is how do I do it, and how do I make money doing it? How do I provide value to other people? doing what it is I love to do. Right now, I'm hoping to provide you value. And let me know if you did. In the last 25 minutes, if this is providing you value, then I feel like I've served you in educating, learning, and teaching. If it did, please give me some likes. If it doesn't, then still give me some likes. But if you're providing value to people, then they will be willing to pay. Depending on the quality of the value you give, then people are willing to pay and give less or pay more. So please realize that. But Warren, if you're not going to provide value for people, it's not coming back to you. You can't just get. You also have to give. You got to find a way to give. Jen says, I'd love to do mission work and use my NP skills to care for less fortunate people and show my kids how to be selfless, grateful, and humility. Fantastic. So create an organization and do that. Most people don't realize this. I do this with my kids pretty much every year. I have a foundation that I feed homeless children. And I create a Christmas party. It's not something I tell publicly, but my kids actually do the work behind it. We get a Santa, and they wrap all the gifts, and we do this. Now, I'm not a big charity guy. That's not what I mean. That's not the reason I do it. It's because I want them to see that there are other people with other circumstances and to give back to them as well as appreciate what they do have. So that's why I do it. But I love that. What if you feel like the thing you really want to do might not provide the income that you really want to make and provide for the life you want? Well, I can tell you this, is that that's nothing more than a fear and a myth. There are people, there's a kid freaking reviewing toys, making $11 million on the freaking internet. So your gross income, your income is limited by the potential of what you think is possible. If you believe that you won't make money doing it, then you won't. Of course, we know that, but that's not the truth. If you provide value to people doing what it is you love to do, then people will pay for it. Just that simple. It's not that complicated a scenario, but it's you perceive that people won't. That stops you from doing it. And the life you want, I'm just going to screw all your heads up right now. You can't get the life you want without doing the things you love. Please realize that. Because your energy, frequency, and vibration will not be at a scale that will attract money at that level. It just won't happen. You'll keep in the grind, fighting it out, working your ass off, thinking, okay, I'm going to eventually get there. It's eventually going to show up. It's eventually going to show up. It doesn't work that way. If you do what you love, the energy goes up and your vitality goes up. Everything starts to scale upwards. Your vision, your blood, your brain, your energy, your vitality, all goes up when you do what it is you love. When you do the things that you don't love, you play at a lower level, lower frequency, lower vibration. And that vibration then kind of plays into the universe. So you're not going to attract a higher level. Most people live on survival because they don't do what it is that they love. And I'm challenging you guys to, whatever you're doing today, find out how to make that do what it is you love to do. Link it together. How is it getting you to where you want to go? Because if you do, you'll have more energy and vitality tomorrow morning when you wake up. If you don't, you'll start to say, well, this shit doesn't work. So please realize that. So does that make sense? Give me some heart, likes, thumbs. And, we are growing the group. So you guys that are welcoming people into the group, into the videos, I hope these are of value. There are lots of videos on here. I cover a lot of subjects. Go watch the videos. Share it with your friends. Share it with your family. And if you guys are interested in setting up a call with me and to go through and find out what maybe your real mission is. Let's get a breakthrough call so you can clear out some of the crap that's holding you back. Let's get through that. Let's pierce through that and see uncover the layers and see, okay, this is who you really are and this is what you want to do. I promise you that I don't think there's, if any, I'm sure there are, but doing a call with me ends up being of tremendous value to people. So usually that's what they say, at least. And I'm sure there are people that don't think that too, but for the most part, I would think that it is. So take advantage of that. Take advantage of it. And some of you are going to feel like, oh, he's going to sell me. He's going to try and sell me into something. I'm not. I'm really not. I'm only going to invite you into my program. I don't sell anybody anything. I invite for people to work with me if they want to grow. If they don't, I say, hey, look, do your thing. I love you anyways, but let's part friends. So realize that the work that we're doing is life-changing for a lot of people. And then there's a lot of people on this thread that can tell you even early stages of going through doing some of the work. We'll see that. So, I urge you to really do a lot of introspective work for yourself. Stop chasing the dream. Stop chasing the fantasy. Get real with what it is you want, who you are, and do the things that you really are willing to take the challenges on to do for people, humanity, and yourself. So with that being said, I'll sign off. I said 30 minutes. That was my goal. And you probably will, Buzz Lightyear. So with that being said, have a great night, guys. Thanks a lot.